Frog says, this cake looks wonderful. He's impressed with Toad's decorations, and Toad says, we will see if it tastes wonderful. That's a very fancy cake slicer you have there, Toad. It's got those little decorations printed on it. Frog takes a bite of his cake and says, Frog bakes a cake for Toad Day is my new favorite special day of the year. And Toad looks a little unsure now. Frog's enjoying this cake thoroughly, and Toad sadly takes off his chef's hat as Frog says, this is the most delicious cake ever, Toad. He says, you have to try it. And so Toad takes a bite out of his cake, but he doesn't look like he's enjoying it near as much as Frog did. Frog says, don't you like your cake, Toad? And Toad says, no, I do not like my cake. Dang, that's one of the saddest things I've heard in a cartoon in a long time. No, I do not like my cake. Man, I'm interested to find out why. And Toad even adds to that. He says, this is the worst cake I've ever had. Frog says, it is? Seems fine to me. What don't you like about it? Then Toad explains, you wanted to bake me a cake, which was so kind of you. And then you asked me for help so we could do it together. And Frog says, yeah, and wasn't that fun? You know, baking together? Toad says, but we did not bake together. I took over everything. It cannot be Frog bakes a cake for Toad Day when Toad bakes the cake. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, let me think here. Yes, what Toad is saying is true, but I don't think Toad did anything wrong in that situation because Frog didn't know what he was doing and Toad wanted to show Frog how to do it correctly, so as long as Frog was paying attention, like maybe next time Frog could bake a cake for Toad the right way. So I don't think Toad really made a huge mistake there. I think what he did was good, but he feels really bad for Frog because Frog wanted to do something nice for him and he wasn't able to do it. Wow, that is really sad and kind of sweet at the same time. And the fact that this Frog's inability to make a decent cake for Toad made Toad feel so bad for him that he didn't even want to eat the cake that he successfully made. Goodness. That just shows how much Toad cares about Frog. Like, they're such good friends, you know? Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. This is really something. Let's continue now, see what happens next. And see, here's the thing. It's not like Toad is upset that Frog couldn't make him a cake. It's not it's not the kind of situation where Toad really wanted to taste the kind of cake that Frog would make. Like, Toad's not sad that he didn't get a cake from Frog. That's not what this is. Toad is upset because Frog wanted to do something nice for Toad. It was Frog's idea to bake a cake today because Toad couldn't have Rabbit's cake yet. So it was Frog's deliberate intention to do this nice thing for Toad, and Toad is sad because Frog went into all that efforts to do this nice thing for him, and it didn't work. And I guess Toad got a little hung up on the potential holiday that they were starting of Frog bakes a cake for Toad Day, and their little baking party didn't quite live up to its name. So the sadness that Toad is feeling is not due to the fact that Frog didn't make a good cake. It's the fact that Frog was being so kind, and I guess Toad felt like he didn't appreciate it enough. Okay, let's continue. Toad says, please, Frog, let me make things right. Okay, how are you gonna do that? Whoa, no. Toad, I guess he didn't throw it away yet. Toad gets out the ugly-looking cake it's not even baked yet. It's still the weird mixture in the bowl. Toad gets it out again and says, I would rather eat your cake instead. So are they gonna try to bake this thing now or what? Frog says, this cake, are you sure? My thoughts exactly. Toad says, I am positive. We will put it in the oven and see what happens. Oh no, this is gonna be a huge mess. Is it gonna get real big and come exploding out of the oven? Oh, okay, maybe not. So when it's finished, they get it out and they dump it onto a plate and it's like really thick and heavy. It falls onto the plate with a clank. Frog says, this cake looks a little strange, Toad. Toad says, the important thing is how it tastes. And Frog can't even slice into it. A big chunk out of it comes apart, though. Like crumbling concrete. This reminds me of the Little Bear episode about the cupcakes, where Little Bear and Emily were putting together all these random crazy ingredients, and tried to make cupcakes, but they were all as hard as a rock. It's the same thing here now. Toad picks it up and takes a bite out of it. And do Frog and Toad have teeth in this version? I've never quite noticed before. Toad could certainly use some now. Toad chews and makes a lot of really grossed out noises. And eventually swallows it. Frog's very nervous. He says, "Well, how does it taste?" Then Toad fake smiles and takes another bite of the cake and says, "This is the best cake I've ever had, Frog." Then Frog gets a fork and tries to tap into the cake and says, "I don't know, Toad. I think I still prefer yours." And Toad says, "You can have it, Frog. This is the cake I want. The one you made for me." He says it may be hard and not very sweet, but it's a cake I will always remember. And Frog offers to give Toad a glass of milk to go with that, and Toad says, "Yes, please." And then he just pours the milk into the teacup, and Toad drinks it. And that's it. Okay, that was Frog and Toad, Season 1, Episode 4B, A Cake.